Right, okay, so we're going to solve for another variable. Okay, so right now this equation here says p equals. We want to get to t equals. That's what it says, solve for t. Now there's only four things I think you really need to think about in this. Is are you going to multiply? Are you going to divide? Are you going to add? Or are you going to subtract? Okay, so remember, if you do things like x plus p, I'll change it to letters now, not numbers, equals d. If I want to get to the x, I would subtract a p, okay, from both sides. Now you can't actually subtract letters, so x would equal d minus p, okay, so something like that. Think about doing the opposite of what you've got. If that's a plus p, you would minus a p to get to the x. Now, that's fairly straightforward. There's harder ones to come. Let me just erase that. Okay, so multiply, divide, add, subtract. I need to get to this t here, okay? So I want to get to t equals. So I don't want t on the bottom, I want it on the top somewhat, t equals. Now, the way to get rid of denominators is to multiply by them. Now, I'm not actually going to get rid of this t because I actually want it, but when I do multiply by t, well, let's see what we do. Okay, p, I'll give some space here, equals f d over t. That's what we've got right now. If I multiply by t, now I'm not actually going to multiply fd by t, I'm going to actually get rid of it, okay? T over t, kind of cancelled, 1, whatever you want to think about it. The t is gone, but don't forget, I need to multiply it by t over here. So what I now have is p, t equals fd, okay? fd. Now, so there we go. I multiplied by a t because it was being divided by a t. Okay, so to get rid of the denominator t, I multiplied by t. Appeared on the other side though. Now, this is hopefully back to straightforward stuff. How do I get to this t? What do I do with the thing next to the letter? Just like what do I do with the number next to the letter? Divide by it. Because that really is part of a multiplication. P times t. So to get rid of the p when it's multiplied, divide. Okay, again, do the opposite. Right. Once I've got rid of those, that's pretty much the answer. Okay, t equals fd over p. All right, so if you think about it, what I really did was just, here's the t down here, I just kind of swapped them over. All right, that's fairly straightforward. Let's look at actually the harder one. Right, okay, I need to get to this r. Now again, it's on a denominator. Okay, so to get up, to get rid of it on the bottom but end up on the top on the other side, I'm going to multiply by the whole denominator. I'm not going to multiply by bits and pieces of it. If I want to get rid of a denominator, I multiply by the whole thing. So what I'm saying here is if I just erase for r, okay, I am going to multiply both sides by 1 plus rt. Now I'll just do this right now. Okay, watch. That means that that will go, but don't forget it's now on the left hand side. So in other words, p over here has an 1 plus rt next to it because I multiplied both sides by 1 plus rt. That now just equals a. Okay. Oof. Okay, so I multiplied by 1 plus rt to both sides. It's gone from the right, but it's over on the left. Now, there are actually different ways to look at this. I mean, you could divide both sides by p right now, okay? But I know the book shows this. They do the distributive law. P times 1 is p. P times rt, all you can write is p rt. They're not easy, aren't these? All right? It's just years of doing it, you get used to it, okay? So all I've done is the distributive law. Remember, I'm still trying to get to that r. So, okay, look at this. I want to get rid of this then, all right? Well, that's a plus p, so let's minus a p from both sides. Just here, okay? Minus a p from both sides. So that has now gone. I'm left with p r t equals a minus p. Okay, remember, I can't actually do any subtractions really. There's no numbers here. I can't subtract a minus p. It's just a minus p. Okay, I'm still trying to get to the r. Now, I've got two things next to the letter I'm looking for. I've got a p and a t. They're both next to it, so I'm going to divide by them, all right? Because they're going to be multiplied to the r, so dividing will get rid of them. So divide by p, divide by t, okay, and that should leave me with the r. So again, both sides divide by p, divide by t, and that is the answer. Okay, so r equals a minus p over, is it pt? Now please don't think you can cancel p's here. Alright, you can only cancel things when it's like, apart from multiplication on top and bottom. That is a minus p, alright, over pt. The p's do not cancel because the top, the numerator, is not being part of multiplication. It's just a minus p. Okay, not easy, but I'll do a couple more that's on this sheet. Okay.